Greeting, I'm Vincent. I will be your host for today's section. Please stay with me for the today whole section that inclusive of the coverage of the digital workspace to the anywhere work operations, and then we will have the technical walkthrough together with some highlight of the some of the unit benefit, as well as we will end with some case study and the Q&As. To be or not to be, to adopt the digital workplace to anyway operation in a modern way is in the top management for any global organization consideration. In particular now, we already over the 2 years of the COVID-19 pandemic, the whole world is enter what we call next normal generations. Everyone is fully aware, inclusive of the tenant employee, 100% of work in the office, and then we also need to be at 100% to work remotely. And of course, what is the majority of people now adopt is so-called the hybrid. The modern digital workplace and anyway operation will be allow the organization to be able to adopt the multi-work style, right? To be fit into the respective organization in a specific unique use case and so on. So today we will be using it to be highlight for all those respective scenario. You will be noticed about all the terms that being using from the legacy like the mobile device management (MDM), and then to the enterprise mobility management (EMM), and then to the Unified-Endpoint-Management (UEM), and then to what the key term now most of people use is the digital workplace, and then to the anyway operations. We will cover all those things during this section. Please stay with us. And below here is a very quick highlight summary for what today you will be expected. I hope the section is being given you for what you originally signed up for the section that you were expected, and then I hope you can be using for the workshop and then the lab resources that we've been assigned to you and guide you how to use it during this section. At the end, some of the case study, we hope also that to provide you with some of the insight for what is the respective key benefit those the organization being adopted. You may see how it can pop into your scenario. And Q&A, we will try to explain some of the common asked questions that for you. Feel free to engage the eSpin for your project in hand. Let's start with some conversation and discussion. We see how that we can help you to adopt the modern digital workplace and then for the anywhere operations into your own unique business operation, and then the structure that you need it to be carried out, and then to adopt it as one of the capability for your organization to moving to compete with the rest of the market with those things to make sure that your workforce is able to work in the multi-work style manner from the office to the remote, and at the same time for the hybrid. We take the opportunity to thank you everyone to join me for this long section, and then have a good day everyone.
Greetings everyone. First of all, I would like to thank you all to be taking the 2 hours time with us for the training on the seminar workshop together with the lab in these 2 hours time, the topic on the VMware Digital Workspace and the UEM. At the time, see in my screen is I already logged in, just like the earlier email with the login credential given to yours. To log into is being the e-learning author given with the ID and password we give to you, then you can be seeing the same screen like what I show you at the moment. The reason why we need to do it for those who have been experienced it before, because first of all, it is not a lecture or presentation in the one way that we need to make sure that after these 2 hours, you continue to have all lively document and then content that you may need to be saved as, let's say, like the PDF with all the content, and then for all the exercise and then the assignment giving you to explore and experiencing for the today content. So this is a purpose for the team why is using the word workshop and the lab is given, because I believe that a lot of solution talk, most of people is doing in one way. I feel it's not enough for most of people who want to explore it more in deep before some people will want to take into the more deep conversation by first to explore to it is what the whole objective about this event is all about. As per content shared with you earlier that you signing up for, this 2-hour workshop is part of our modern workplace and future of work series for our customer and business partner whom we do business with over the year as an introduction to the digital workspace and Unified-Endpoint-Management or UEM in short in our solution portfolio. This 2 hours, the VMware Digital Workspace and UEM Seminar Workshop event, we aim for the participant to understand our modern workspace and future of work solution for digital workspace and UEM at the end of the sections. When it comes to the subject matter for the digital workspace and UEM, we got various products in the market. And for this section, we will focus exclusively with our supplier partner VMware to package everything and make it so compact. You can know the challenge, what benefit and how to do next after you know more in detail for the capability and related to your unique use case in hand. Please spend the time necessary to practice what we guide you along the workshop lab section in the event as well. All that you need is already provisioned in this eSpin exclusive prepared e-learning course for you to follow the on the screen guide for the step to evaluate and set up. So you can evaluate on your own as well. We are always here for your solution consultancy, business case, feasibility study, budget justification, proof of value or POV, project supply, integration, training and maintenance. Just contact us for your challenge, the requirement, and work together from it. Let's turn it into your company capability. Let's continue and start the section. We will be start digital workspace and the UEM technical overview first. Anyway, organizations from the past 2 years, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, organizations globally accelerating transformation to make sure that they can support flexible work style away from 100% at work location, depend on the work culture and nature of the business and industry. Some transform toward 100% remote, but the rest mostly adopt what they so-called the hybrid workplace. The Anyway organization is the new modern workplace and future on work concept that cater for the multimodal work style. They continue to deliver consistent, seamless and the best application experience while ensuring security is not compromised across the multi-modal work style. Anyway, workspace solution is in the every organization consideration, and today's topic is from Digital-Workspace to Anyway Workspace. Its business value and use case. We will perform technical demonstration and provide the guided lab access for the audience so you can have a better understanding of it. The nature of the distributed work, as everyone is aware and experiencing it, the COVID-19 pandemic had caused a big shift in which the enterprise operating, and to the very large extent accelerate the change and adoption, causing the application device user to become distributed if they are yet. So this is likely to stay this way for the foreseeable future, as hybrid and working anywhere will be a new norm. We are seeing acceleration in some of the trends were in motion, such as application migration to cloud, from virtual machine to container to cloud native application, adoption of any device, include personal device such as smartphone, tablet, bring your own device, and more enterprise open adoption for the flexible work style, work anywhere. The different teams have different products and different challenges. For instance, multinational corporation, global business in nature, there are many challenges across the business where supporting a distributed workforce include user experience, productivity, security, and operational complexity and cost. This can lead to a very complex challenge that span across infrastructure, the network, information security, and IT operations, and more, such as regulatory compliance and human resource productivity and employee activity concern, particularly related to the working at home and remotely. So from the employee productivity in concern, they are handled by a different team and product, which make it very difficult to orchestrate and manage. Still, a lot of the product nowadays still in the dealing with the silo management approaches. Let's get here, the modern enterprise and future of work. You cannot get away from merely use the traditional desktop or laptop, adopt or bring your own device, and allow knowledge worker and management to use the template as smartphone to do their job is necessary. Not to mention more about the emerging technology are introduced from wearable technology, from the Internet of Things, the IoT, the smart glass, the augmented reality glass. The list goes on. Attempting to use the data and absolute unified device management (UEM) that only partially support what the modern device your enterprise is using, it will become a disaster. Enterprise need a more modern and holistic approach to that for the 2D Unified Endpoint Management to support anywhere operations. Today's solution, from the most you will be facing for most of our enterprise, is the patchwork of many tools. Most of the today's solutions are traditional, if not legacy in nature, that cater for the yesterday world. They end up being a lot of a silos product and lead to very fragmented security, suboptimal experience, and very high total cost of ownership, and end up in the management complexity, but do not provide a unified modern digital workspace and anywhere workspace experience every business enterprise expect to enable them to work in the multi-modal work style. Top level challenge for most of the people, it will be inclusive of the suboptimal experience, the fragmented security, and operation complexity that will be impact to employee engagement and productivity. As the world is moving to distribute in nature, because you cannot avoid that, because this is how the trend goes. So today we are talking about unified solution from the VMware is using the best-in-class holistic approach in the one platform, one vendor manner, compared with those that is the multiple platform with multiple vendors. This solving the distributed workforce challenge today require bringing technology from the multiple vendors, supporting multiple vendors. VMware focus on solve this is to bring the best of breed technology all from the vendor, and that is by deliver VMware Anywhere Workspace. The VMware Anywhere Workspace approach address the end user, the IT and security challenges by providing exceptionally multimodal employee experience, enabling the automated workspace management and security by the securing the distributed agent. The solution take a holistic approach, combine the industry-leading digital workspace, endpoint security, and the secure access service or SASE technology, working seamlessly across any application on any cloud to any device. This is what the VMware Anywhere Workspace technology is all about. That bringing the strength from the three products working as a single seamless solution, integrate across IT, networking, and security. The three respective solutions above is the VMware Carbon Black for the cloud-native endpoint protection, VMware Workspace ONE Unified-Endpoint-Management, and virtual app and desktop delivery, where is the core theme of today. And then for the VMware SASE for the Zero Trust security and network performance management. Together, they will be addressing for the modern and future challenge that to be needed for the managed multimodal experience, secure the distributed edge, and then to automate the workplace. VMware brought together these three industry-leading solutions, like just named the Workspace ONE, Carbon Black, and SASE, to deliver a solution that makes sure to articulate key use for each product, promoting a highly engaged workforce, and then to deliver the broader, more effective security and reduce the cost and the operational overhead. Other things such as like VMware Workspace ONE have a very long history of supporting the mobile productivity through the Workspace ONE, which enable many organizations to deploy a swift response to pandemic-related remote work requirement through the UEM, the Unified-Endpoint-Management, across all the major device platforms, application access management with a unified catalog, remote support to help users wherever they are located, analytics, and automation for simplified management. Workspace ONE platform can simply and securely deliver and manage any app on any device by integrating access control, access management, and multi-platform endpoint management. The VMware Anywhere Workspace benefit for the stakeholder, it will be depend on which side you are in, whether you are CIO, IT, then it will definitely is a visibility and manageability. For the information security officer, it's about the security and compliance. For line of business HR workplace, it's about the engagement and collaboration. And for employee, is about the experience and privacy. VMware Anywhere Workspace use cases designed for your journey. eSpin is a solution-focused provider. We delivering end-to-end solution from hardware, software, and variety of professional service that beyond every principal partner is willing to do, due to no part of their such as beyond supply, but also include migration enterprise customer from the legacy endpoint solution to the modern digital workplace for anywhere operation. From coaching to join deploy as a way for transfer working knowledge, to manage the outsourcing for the customer who prefer to outsource it and enjoy the benefit, but let the eSpin to operate for the enterprise customer as part of the project scope of work. How the eSpin is supporting your Anyway Workspace journey. As talked earlier, eSpin delivers end-to-end value-add services. eSpin on top of the typical services from the related to the Anyway Workspace. We have talked about the professional services or managed services in the form of such as for the help you to plan and assess, like the infrastructure assessment, expedient workflow assessment, because you cannot go further without knowing where are you right now. So, and then for the virtual desktop design, virtual application design, and then for the implement and deploy services such as security audit, virtual desktop and the application audit, and as well as like the manage and operate then virtual desktop hosting, and then for the operate and management for the full stack monitoring end-to-end to the user experience workflow implementation, application provisioning, capacity management, and the scaling. Anyway, Workspace deliver cross-franchise benefit. For the most of the cases, successful cases and case study, you will notice that they were focusing on some of the benefit that have been highlighted in the slide here. First is a software spend reduction, because it eliminates spend on several third-party software license that was saving and the spend elimination, because it's a single vendor platform solution instead of the multiple. And then the brand protection, typically brand list from the major public incident and breaches is reduced, risk per year protected, because it's a single unified cover all the area in concern. Breach risk avoidance, advanced endpoint security and compliance require breach risk operation cost. And then for the compliance and then for the fine, right, the cost avoidance. Accelerate the incident investigation and limitation, the saving from the reduced time to investigate and elimination, resulting in the productivity recaptures. Because instead of working with multiple tools now, it's just a single integrated unified tool, so that you don't need to be getting all the information on all the different sources. IT agility, the standardizing and the simplified operation model and automation increase the IT responsiveness for both the new deployment and issue resolution for the huge IT saving. Reduce the attrition, improve onboarding, enable consistency application access, will reduce the attritions and improve the hiring for the huge saving. Time to market, modern end user experience will ensure consistent application accessibility among the product and the application developer, accelerating the time to market to increase the revenue for the enterprise who adopt the Anyway Workspace solutions. Anyway Workspace depend on the use cases. Some will be starting from the managed multimodal employee experience. Some will start from secure the distributed. Some will be from the automate the workspace to be, in the end, is on the zero trust employee experience. Up to now, we are providing a comprehensive coverage of VMware Workspace solution, combine the three core product technology to address the modern, most complex requirement for the complete, scalable, and hassle-free manner. Now, we are turning our attention to focusing on Digital-Workspace and the Unified-Endpoint-Management, one of the area for most of the enterprise customer most likely to start their journey from unifying all the endpoint and provide unified application management and catalog in the more deep level. Workspace ONE UEM eliminate the IT silos. Workspace ONE UEM consolidate management tool and process for improve the IT efficiency. Workspace ONE UEM extend the management beyond just the mobile for improve the IT efficiency. Workspace ONE UEM is a holistic, user-centric management approach to managing and securing any endpoint from a single platform. Any endpoint here we mean for desktop, the enterprise smartphone and tablet, purpose-built smartphone, sleep and semi and fully digitized device, as well as IoT endpoint like the wearable smart AV and IoT gateway, etc. Because more and more product is introduced on the IoT portion. On any platform, we are talking about such as iOS, macOS, Android, and Windows 10, Windows 11, as well as Windows CE and other operating systems. Of course, any use case include the bring your own device scenario and complete own purpose-built device. Because management tool, process, and policy are combined, UEM give organization a simplified management from a single console over the air, include full desktop PC lifecycle management, increase the visibility and security and intelligent insight and analytics, overall improve experience across the end user and the IT. Unified management, any OS and device tab. As you can see from the slide, we are talking about truly modern unified management that will be inclusive of the traditional laptop OS, those things, and then the mobile, like the tablet and smartphone, and then for the IoT things such as the wearable kiosk and other non-traditional endpoint. Unified management, this is what the modern need as well. Need to be scalable, cloud-first, multi-tenant architectures, because different country, region may have a different way of you want to put it in the hierarchy to manage it. Localized in the over 70 plus languages with 24/7 global support, and then integrate Workspace ONE identity-defined application catalog. As we all know that it's the leader with the largest market share in the UEM. Workspace ONE is a complete digital workplace platform. As you can see, the VMware are in the position to use Workspace ONE to orchestrate the set of assets to deliver the digital workplace for the IT end. Each VMware, for the IT end, VMware adjusted the component needed to manage and secure your environment, user and IT tier, employee engagement and experience, and zero trust security, plus value-add services such as like access service and secure tunneling, and then the device management, app and desktop delivery with the horizontal, and complete endpoint security with the carbon back. Multi-tenancy solve the challenge of global scale, consistency and content structure to provide control over your deployment. It is a very highly scalable solution even for organization with the multiple regional organization. This is why it comes with a multi-tenancy support for global scalability. You can even have a different country have their very own hierarchy and report to regional headquarters and then global headquarters if you want. Role-based access for the every department. As told earlier, it is purpose-built for modern workplace and future of work. As such, its purpose is to access a variety of role-based access for the every department to have the right access to complete their respective tasks. Smart Boot is a unique capability that to benefit the modern UEM in the sense of the span multi-tenancy, and then for the more flexible control and filter map to user group, and then for the more modern on the MDM or MAM management, and then the custom tag support, and then applicable to configuration and application, and then for the centralized administration. It's a solution that delivers a digital workspace for every persona, multi-tenancy, role-based access control, and smart group map dynamic to every persona and geography. Typical organization is comprised of many teams. Those teams require access to application and device, and not all teams require access to office application or even email. So this by nature is already need to make sure that the adopted digital workspace solution is flexible enough for you to address that challenge. Centralized management across all endpoints, single infrastructure across all devices and applications help to reduce the management complexity. This is in all the management key concern. It is not about as many tools you want. It's about how the holistic that you can bring in and simplify your architectures to help your management to reduce the management complexity that matters. You, with a couple thousand of endpoint devices, the solution that help you with a single platform and allow you to manage across all endpoints include applications that allow a block for unified catalog access by user role, or just a single technology platform that seamlessly work in backend, help you to reduce management complexity, which will help you get more things done compared with legacy solution end up with a silo management. Cloud power real-time management across any device, anyway. Over-the-air management ensure the IT can reach every endpoint. The problem for the traditional management tool or on-prem are inefficient for today's modern workforce. But the cost for switching and app compatibility issue end up delaying move to modern management. The feature for over-the-air management with Workspace ONE ensure IT can reach any endpoint and give them always up to date on the policy, patch, and the app version. Workspace ONE is cloud-first solution, but also can be flexible deploy on-plan to meet regulatory requirements. We will be continue now. Let's turn into the technical demonstration section for today. See it to believe. Okay. What this section will involve in the two portions. One part is from my end to perform a quick technical demonstration, and then provide all the guided lab access you can do at your own time without the pressure from the section. Please follow the visual guide to complete and get the first-hand workshop and hands-on experience with all the previous credential and login ID and password given. Workshop hands-on labs. As per the given URL link that I given you before you attend for the sections, right? Login is mainly have the two particular of the workshop lab we were doing. One is regarding for the VMware Workspace ONE, and then another one is regarding for the Workspace ONE UEM. This is the two that we will complete it, and then go to the very bottom to make sure to giving you some more better idea how the digital workplace enabling the third-party integration for the end-to-end experience, so that please make sure Office 365 and Zoom is enabled green. Disable, it will turn in a different way like this, right? Disabling. No, but we want enable. To be complete the exercise, due to reason that I may need to demo you in the displays. So the exercise that I will use is actually the Windows OS running in the virtual machine, so that you can see in the display screen that I'm doing.
However, if you like to do like the iPhone, you need to have iPhone or Android phone like Samsung or you Chromebook or whatever. Make sure you have all those the device that to prepare accordingly. So what we do, for instance, Workspace ONE, they have a lot of different walkthrough exercise that you can do. Experience Workspace ONE on the iOS, Workspace ONE on Windows 10. Here is saying Windows 10, but actually it's Windows 11 supported. And then for Android, Mac OS, and COM. Of course, you may not be necessary to complete all the exercise walkthrough. You just pick one because more or less the experience is the same. It's just a different device. The way that you do it was slightly different. And then we will be also continue with the Workspace ONE UEM with the App and Access Management hands-on lab. Here following for the click. And then for more on the addition on the Workspace ONE UEM for the walkthrough, right? So for the iOS being your own device, iOS corporate own walkthrough is different because being your own device and company own device, the way that you want to manage is a bit different in terms of access and the configuration you may want to make. And then of course for the Windows desktop, for endpoint management, and then for have a look on to the Workspace ONE UEM admin console. And then they have a one hands-on lab is a Workspace ONE UEM get started. This is all the thing that we will do, but you will have different setting than here, the one that I provision for you. You just using that to do accordingly. Let's get started with from the lab. What you need to do is just to enroll the lab. So you need to start the lab. It will take some time to putting in. So just take on your patience. If you worry about your machine for the compatible, right? So you can do the check. But for me to save the time, I will start instantly. As you can see, when the time the thing booting on the right hand side is actually is a visual guide to go with the step-by-step guide for you to make sure that you can complete the hands-on lab assignment and then gain the experience from there. So they have some steps to go about it so that you may take some time. So what to do, you can see they have some lab guidelines how to do, and then the location of the main console. This is for the coverage of the Workspace ONE. It will tell you like what is the respective all those things is about accordingly. So click and drag, you can copy move the thing over here. So you just spend the time to read it. So we let's get started on it. So the plan is all is about how to using on the guiding for the but when the time you finish, then you just end the lab. He will close in the whole section. So this is the introduction to freestyle orchestra. Like here you mentioned about you will take like 30 minutes to finish the particular of the lab. It will be so it also give you the indicator how much time you need to dedicate it. And then for those want to know one more time again for device management and the VMware Workspace ONE UEM, right? So the freestyle orchestra, right? Enable the Workspace ONE UEM administrator to create a complex workflow. So you spend your time to read it. So connect to the virtual device for you to starting, right? So you need to follow the step here to finish the exercise. So like double click on, like here mentioned, for the Windows 10 shortcut on the main console desktop to connect to the Windows 10 virtual machine, right? So you got to follow accordingly. So he like here, you just follow the step lah. So basically, you just follow through. I don't think you will get issue to get wrong. Right? He say by the time he say you want to double click the comb, so be you just open the comb accordingly, right? And then he will mention about for you to fill in your Workspace ONE admin console and so on. So you may need to follow until the step to 804, right? I jump here, conclusion, then you will be able to complete the whole exercise. When you finish it, then of course what you need to do is to complete the step by confirming to end the whole exercise. Then afterward, it will be, after take a survey, then it will be giving you a certificate appear into the system. So yeah, right, there's something how this process is going on. So it's highly useful. You can take your own time without people interrupt you. And more important is regarding the hands-on lab resources, all is over the cloud. So that you can be using it to doing for the what is relevant for your use case in specifics.
So there is a very quick and the compact way for me to guide you first how to using for the lab resources and then for the assignment that coming for you to follow through. We will be, as according to the agenda, so that we will now concentrate on the VMware Workspace ONE. So that is for the simple, secure, and intelligent-driven enterprise platform that to deliver and manage any app on any device. So we continue to demo and guide you how to using all the resources from here.
So we start the demos. So we are starting from the Digital-Workspace, the Workspace ONE solution first. So like the workshop, right? The ID they have been given earlier. You fill in with the what been assigned to you from the screen. Then here you will see some of the solution that being installed here for you to play around to see about what is the thing and feature you want to have a quick understanding how it works. So from the unified catalog here, based on the VMware app that being provisioned for you to be used. Before I go further, they have one is quite a unique features. So that I will want to let you have a look first, such as the is that here this is a feature called integrate with the horizon, the virtual desktop, because from the provision data center resources, it will become very useful, so that it also will be help most of the company to cut the hardware costing, because most of the thing is a virtualized into a single place to be provisioned this way. So from here, you can have a virtual desktop. Then you can basically have all your app here, and depend on the scenario. This is one of useful ways so that you can fully control from all your remote or any way of the users. They will always to access to all the control applications in the control configuration to according to your regulatory compliant or your own internal security policies that you know and then can track them in this manner regardless where they are. Okay, because it's just open through the browser anyway. So we continue with the other demos. Okay, as you will notice, it being single sign-on integrated. So it's most of the app that provision here is just a one click away without asking you to further fill in with the ID and password. So secure Office 365, so that you can use this to log in this way, one click to access to all the needed apps in the virtual desktop. Like this one is the integration. So you can create the new document, etc. all working in this way. It's just a one click secure remote login to a browser. We continue with the additional demonstrations on the Experience the Workspace ONE with the Windows 10. You can follow the instructions from here. I will do the quick one just to show you. You need a brand new machine that before install the software before, and then you enroll this particular machine into join into the Workspace ONE for you to control. Then you can play around some working assignment like Native App, Horizon, C-Thread, SaaS application, and then you also play around the data loss prevention, condition access, and policy and profile, and then log into the console to complete write to your device. This is some of the very typical thing enterprise always want to be able to control. System administrators, I mean from the company end, you can do to fully manage the endpoint device. So we start one by one and then to finish it. So like here, you just follow the step to download and install the Intelligent Hub app into your virtual machine, the Windows. So then you, based on the email address and credential to rolling the machine over. This is the first step to enrolling your Windows device. It is quite the similar way for the smartphone like iOS, Samsung phone, all those things, or the other type of device that is supported, similar way. So it's just one, actually you just need to pick one and then to finish the guided workshop and the lab. Then you will get to fully understood the whole process, how it is working. So I will switch over to the virtual machine. That because I need to demonstrate to you how to enrolling the feature we are talking about. So first, let's get the software first to install into your Windows device. So they have owned this domain. So what you need to do is just come here to click and download into your machines. They mention here is a AWatch agent because formerly the solution is called AWatch on the time before the VMware acquires. So that's why the name is AWatch agent. But it's a solution-wise, it is what they call Workspace ONE Intelligent Hub nowadays. Okay, download already. Then what next is to install. This is basically the agent to control for the endpoint device and then to communicate with you while the system administrator consoles. Then you're pushing down all the policy, what kind of app can be used, and what kind of the additional thing that you allow or disable on the device, such as let's say like iPhone, smartphone, those with the camera. Some company due to certain reason they want to disable the camera and other features on the device viewing, right? You can do so according these. One of the reasons want to pick like the window is because this is the most easier to be demonstrated. Like earlier to tell you about the virtual desktop way, some company is doing that way, or you want to install into a physical laptop, and then or maybe it's belong to your employees or bring your own device, or is the company owned, right? So you may have a different type of policy to separate the two group of user but here I just demonstrate you how to enroll in the device one time, and then you can be experiment. We follow the same guide, then you can be experiment and then to do what you want to enforce the particular or the endpoint device can do, cannot do, and so on. Okay, the machine now is come with this Workspace ONE Intelligent Hub being installed here. So what you need to do, then you need to log in for the first time. You are asking you for the credentials because each of the different device you definitely have one email address that you provision that you using it to control for what can do, what cannot do, or maybe that you have a policy depend on the platform to differentiate it is a working device or is an employee device. So let me run the first time. So you will be pop up this screen. So that what you need to do is using for the assign the email address for the authentications. You got a lot, so you just pick one of it. For example, this is some of the demo people use for. So let's say I done this one, company owned device, Windows 10 model management, right? Same, this is the, don't follow this one, follow the one that assigned to you. Then it will begin to enroll in your device. So just waiting to be finished. Privacy page. Like for me, usually I put no. Yeah. So it's done. So you can get started without waiting for everything being completely downloaded. So just get started. So you can install whatever the control app, your administrator that have been control, and want you able to use and so on, all from here. Here this is one of the typically people want to see is this NVIDIA, the GPUs acceleration demos where the hardware machine is actually is the typically is located at your data center. Okay, this is one of really popular use case. Since like this, so they have workstations, right? So they have a workstations um, that is in the provision in the virtual. Instead of we have so many hardware machines that being distributed to all the employees, let's say for working remotely, right? Another way to do so is actually is centralized, managed in the data center, provision them the virtual desktop instead that come with a very powerful GPU like NVIDIA, all those things that have been installed and then can be accessed. So this is one of the way people want to demonstrate how you can use it to perform for the they have a lot of kind of the like the AutoCAD or others that is heavy intensive of the GPU resources that you may require the powerful GPU card that to be installed scenario, but it will be very troublesome for you to, let's say like a workstation, it is not really that portable with you all the time. So instead, we just using a browser, any laptop with an internet connection. So you are securely connect inside, and then to connect inside, and then for you to using all the app in this manner instead. So the machine is with the GPU. Let me to quickly demonstrate. But this is one way for the use case. So the whole screen is actually being accelerated and then control how the GPU power. Hope the demos in the part 1 portions to help to highlight some of the unique features and things that you may look for. We will continue to the second part of the technical demo, but this one we were focusing on the Workspace ONE Unified-Endpoint-Management, Workspace ONE UEM. That is for the powered desktop and mobile device, include for the full device management, app level management for being your own device, and much more. Second portion of the demos on the Workspace ONE UEM, the Unified Endpoint Management. We will be there a lot, so that I've been giving you can pay around at one time, but from here what I will do is will be showing you the Workspace ONE UEM admin console. So this is a exercise. Basically what you need to do is log into the console, set up the PIN password, then we will basically play around the dashboard, multi-tenancy, role-based, and profile. So to divide enrollment and your workplace one sandbox. So we continue from there. So first time, just create your 4-digit PIN. So this is the console view for the Workspace ONE UEM. So as you can see, for the typical enterprise deployment, is definitely the more device you have, the more benefit you will see from here across all kind of the device. Like here, you can say the dedicated company device have around 2,700, and then the share file device employee about 300 something, and the 5226. So from here, as a system administrator, from the device point of view, right? I can see for the total deployment for how many percentage is compromised, no passcode, no encrypted. This thing here may be some user group or the respective department maybe has some concern. So you can zoom in and drill out from there to see what is the device there from here. And then here is an aggregate view for the device seen in the last 1 day, and then the last scene breakdown. So you can see here for how many, like 3 days, for a week, 2 weeks, 1 month, and longer than 1 month is how many. And then the platform for the device, or we call it the endpoint, is like Android, Chrome OS, and then the iOS, the Mac OS, and then the Windows desktop here. And then for the how many device already enrolled is about, it means that you can be in direct controls, and enroll is still pending for how many, and then the pre-enroll registration record is how many, and then the breakdown for the, let's say like here is Apple iOS, for how many of the respective version. In particular useful when you want to phasing out certain version for the app support, right? You can base on here to do as a baseline considerations. Same go for by Android, what version on that. Other thing I just walk through so walk through for you. So the typically first thing to see is the monitor for overview. As a system administrator, right, you have a couple thousand of device. So what you need to do is to be managing from dashboard, because you cannot manage what you do not know what is going on. So this is a very useful for you to know respective of the device condition and status. So you can see from here, and then the compliance valuation. Compliance you can set for your own policy. So the top valuation, and then device with the denied app, and then device without required app, all those thinking. And then for the profile, for the last profile version iOS, right, then and so on. And apps are like device without the latest app. They mean that they are still installed and they will update certain app version. So we can see from here like which one in particular that would you for you to consider whether that you want to force update or whatever as a system administrator or whatever once they connect or whatever. So here you can see also most install enterprise app version, like here have mentioned on Horizon Client, Google Chrome, Workplace ONE Assist, 7-zip, etc., etc. Because this is all based on your actual use case and your real condition in your enterprise environment. The one without latest content versions, and then for the email with the vibration, specific certificate that been expired for how many. So you can based on here to get the condition and then to making your management decision what to do next and then what kind of thing you should take actions. Here they have additional thing like the report, list view, right? What kind of the particularly for the you want to know for the login history, user role, application detail, manage the certificate near expirations, and then content detail by device, count of active device, count active device by user, and then the deny list or not allows, application detail by device, the battery, inventory, location, lock, the security postures, the detail you can reading on the right, and then the device usage detail, and then the white lock, and then the list go on. So you just need to pick whatever useful thing you need to show. For instance, right, application detail. So it will be export in the CSV format. So you can using it to create all kind of useful chart and then to formatting it for the all kind of reporting with the raw data we are talking about. And the device events. So you can see from here for all kind of the let's say like severity warning for what is going on the respective of the device, so that you can have a look into it and then to know and then to decide what you need to do with the severity category or modules that you want to be filtered accordingly. Because sometimes you have too many, then you may need to filter to something you really want to see to filter them out accordingly. Like what kind of internal, public, and then for purchase app, that all will be showing here. You can add in the catalog here as well for what you want to have a user can be used and purchase app. Let's say the company have been license for specific quantity of the device. You want to keep track for how many app being assigned accordingly, and then for what the internal apps or maybe some additional custom app that you want to control for the versioning. Then you upload the app, right, plug in here the installer, then you can control from there on that specific version. The respective different profile that for the cert, for tunneling, all those things that you may want to serve freestyle orchestrator, right? So that it is the no-code IT orchestration platform that giving you the ability to create a workflow for researcher for the app profile script and apply them to the device base or based on whatever criteria you have. So you can get started on the management, the system admin interface. You can also quickly to add the device, create a new profile, and then for the add the internet app and public app from here. So you may be provisioned for the you need to have a user create, then you can, then from here you basically will pick what device for what name. For instance, you can see from here, then you can pick the user. Let's say example, select the user, the name, and then whatever, and then you may want him to, let's say here, enroll into corporate own. So it means into the device for company own, and then put the name easier to remember, and then to put under the group under there, because it's company, so you put is the dedicated or share and the employee owner. Then platform, you mean you allow him to run on all the platform or only a specific platform. And then the message to sending the enrollment for them is through the email. If there is scenario, then message, and then you save. Add a new profile. Another common task as a system administrator, you will be expected. From here, you will be select the platform for you to create a profile: Android, iOS, Mac OS, the TV OS, right? The window look, and then the window, and then the Android, as well as for the bigger C1, and then for the Linux to get started. Internal applications. What you do is the first, based on the organization group ID, and then you upload your internal app, choosing either is the local file or provide the link, and then to upload and save it into the applications. Public application, in this scenario, there is the let's say Windows desktop. You need to search from the App Store, then to using it, then or enter with the URL as a way for you for get that particular app, and so on. One more feature to demonstrate, of course, is the multi-tenancies. So you can create up to you, according to your real actual working scenario, how you want to structure regionally or by country or whatever. The way is all those device and then the user, right, is will be porting over to be managed to accordingly. Role, the basic role: external access, full access. You actually on top you can create more role as per needed, because no respective company and way of managing is the same. Then the enrollment status will be given to know the current the device life cycle management. The status will be at the moment. So some dedicated or whatever here, group and setting. The group you can create the name group for specific need. So this is where we are using to managing for the multi-tenancy deployment within the organization. We need to create a group, then the existing group, and then the assign the device, right, into the what group, or maybe respective app allowed, denied, according to what group, and then who is belong to admin group. So this is the how it will look like here is the structure hierarchy. I mentioned before, this is a multi-tenancy, right? So you can also have the list view, and then the administrator view, administrator grouped by role, device administrator, right? So, and then for the login history, for some company, for security access control, right? So you may want to know who is accessed at what specific time, right? The dialog. or someone is invalid password, either is human or not human, right? So you usually view based on is that the repeatedly from the same or what, right? So you will know from here. Telecom, the dashboard view, the device with usage, you want to know for certain device, right, that can make call SMS. You want to know whether that is the in the normal scenario, while in the roaming status, roaming, no roaming, and then the data usage.
So that is conclude for the Workspace ONE UEM technical demo. Please continue to spend your own time to duplicate the same workflow and assignment and the lab, the resources given better understanding for the subject coverage methods. We quickly move to the case study. Despite just now we have covered some, but here is more on related to Workspace ONE. Because no solution section can be end without touching the real-world customer case study. Different customers will have their unique and different industry and sector challenge they encounter and are required to overcome. In this part of the section, we pick 3 out of the multiple cases represent over here for a quick overview. The rest of the customer case study, you can read it in your own free time in still, or just pin the entire section as the coursework for following and future reference. Here we divided into the 3 main themes. Here one is a managed multi-modal employee experience. One is for the secure the distribute each. One is to automate the workspace. Pick one case like the St. John Health, Sokula, and then the Lentecure Initiative. For the St. John Health, it is in the healthcare industry. They have been a regional medical system serving the country and surrounding, right, with about 150 healthcare providers and 750 of the staff. So that the challenge they have is on that it operate in a legacy technology, and there was disjoint and negatively affect the employee and patient experience. Nurses have to log in as many as 4 legacy systems, and there were not workstation in patient room to update the chart. So, and then the physicians and the other need a single point of remote access entry to all applications. How the solution works is the staff now, after they test all the critical application and information from anywhere, and helping the physician, nurse, and other staff spend more time working with the patient and less time worry about the technology. We jump to the another case is on the Sokula, right? So it is on the provider of the accounting. The challenge they have is that they want to have to provide the mobile IT support and will make their life easier, specifically seamless documentation of sensitive data, because the work are mostly handled on paper. Employee have to go back to the office to write up all the documents. So Sakura customer also needs secure access to essential data from wherever they happen to be. How the solution helps? The integrated platform from Workspace ONE make it easier to onboard new staff and the volunteer. Try it easier to recruit for the young trainer who expect a lot in terms of a new work and the IT equipment. It also make it hassle-free on employee during their daily work and help them save huge amount of time. With the access to the app, Workspace ONE is easier to be used and improve the separation and the private and professional use. We jump for one more case on the Lentecure Initiative. It is in the pest control service and commercial hygiene service. So the challenge they have is cloud-ready solution combine their traditional and the cloud-based system, patchwork architecture that manage some endpoint in the cloud, some on the network, and some either create a disjoint experience and more complexity. Rather than split the part to deliver modern apps, IT end up with the same old challenge but up in a new bed. Solution how they have is that the Workspace ONE UEM is make managing Windows simpler and less costly. IT can quickly deploy, manage, and secure the PC without network or domain dependencies. That means no cloud gateway, distribution, server, or VPN. So Workspace ONE safeguards the data even when end users are working from home and whether the device are on or off the network or domain, include patching device to keep them compliant and secure. So that is conclude for the case study section. On then we will be quickly move into the reaching on the Q&A section. We open to receive any question you have when we are deploying within the frame set for the sections. After that, we go to the next step and the entire section. For the next step, the certificate of attendance for the participant, like your certificate of attendee for the 2 hours will be issued and delivered to you within the next 72 hours. We sum up the content for the section so you can submit for whatever continuity, professional development, and claim for that 2 hours. E-learning portal access, it will be enabled for a month. So feel free to log in based on the credential we assign and continue for the workshop and lab activity, as well as to download the PDF of the course book for the sections. In deep enterprise requirement discussion, feel free to contact us for your requirement or attempt to reach us for the business case development and look into your current change requirement and solution package and budgetary requirements. Q&A, seeing that no question being asked, so that I do prepare some just to talk over here. Hassles to own it, need to train people and invest in infrastructure, etc. If only it's just too much hassle for you, let this way, outsource to us. It's been managed for you, so you can run on the operating expenditure instead of just the capital expenditures. eSpin is happy to discuss with you for the multi-years managed service contract if that makes business sense for you, focusing on just use. For customers who prefer to stick to call, let us help you to deal with the no call for you so you can focusing on your very core business. Let's face it, how many product specialists do you want to have? To invest in the continuous development and keep them on the payroll where you know you are lacking the challenging environment for them to stay long. If that indeed is not your core business, why not just outsource to a company like eSpin Group, who is committed to the solution and capable of reducing the expenses and increase the quality of work, efficient and effectiveness. For customer know for that, eSpin Group is one of the potential solution vendor you can engage and recast about your requirements. So when we're reaching here, we have been reaching the end of the whole section. I will take the opportunity to thank you for everyone to make your effort to attend for the section. Everyone have a good day. Bye.